So that's a pretty good sign. It's, you know, still going to take him a little while before he gets back into championship form and, you know, tournament winning form. But it's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, mate, that's pretty telling of what his return is going to be like. You know, he's going to make it to the GSL finals, make it all the way to the grand finals, and then face Dark and lose.
Very narrowly.
Very narrowly. No, but get hype, everyone, because Sue is here, and hopefully we're able to cast him later on in the tournament. Hopefully we're able to catch him like in the semifinals or something like that. But before that happens, we have our own series.
Indeed, we do. We have a very different Zerg player and a very different Terra player on our hands, but we're still gonna kick it off in Berliningrad for whatever reason. Here in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we of course have a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming TvZ. We have Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player himself, residing on his brand new team, One Side Gaming. It is Rex.
Is it one side?
Yeah, one side. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Wait,
Okay.
or is it on side?
Is it? I'm confused.
I get no, yeah, on side, like the football term.
Like
on side.
Wait, what?
No, like, you know, offside, on side.
Oh. Like in soccer.
Yeah. Football. God.
Football.
No, yeah, okay, yeah, my mistake. I just, yeah. On side. No, that makes sense.
I thought I was reading it wrong.
No, I think I was reading wrong. You know what? We're probably both reading it wrong.
Yeah, it's probably like a Polish name,
Yeah.
and it's probably pronounced something like I don't know, Odside. Something.
It's possible. Yeah, on side makes a lot more sense. You know what? We should probably just ask Crank. We should be like, mate, how do you pronounce your team name? Dot, mate. What do you mean? What are you confusing it with? There's no E after the N. Why are you saying one side? Oh, God.
He's like, can you people not read?
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. Meanwhile, when it comes to the openers, Rex actually once again did go for a fairly aggressive opener. Ling's already on the way. Ling's speed is on the way as well. So, mate, this madman is going for another Ling flood. So it seems like maybe. Oh my God!
Almost loses his Reaper a little unnecessarily, in all fairness. And yeah, it looks like Rex in this ZVT matchup does just really like going for Ling floods, especially on the smaller maps like this.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking maybe he was just really good at reading what Honmono was doing and just countering him, but no, maybe it's just what he does on Berlingrad. And it was just really unfortunate for Honmono.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And we'll see if it works out this time. Cure, already a lot of pressure being applied on him, forced to lift up. Very risky maneuver here, lifting up going for an add-on swap this early on, but it did work out for him, and he will be able to get Hellions out much quicker. You're going to want Hellions instead of Marines in a scenario like this. You know, not only are they favored against the Lings, it also helps you secure a little bit of map control once you've dealt with them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, Hellions going to be key here. But the other important thing, as these Lings are being as annoying as possible, but soon to be less so, as the Hellions are going to be able to force them back. Oh my God, the CC even catching fire here. But we do have 2 base lair. Rex went for that lair as quickly as possible as soon as Ling speed was done. What is the plan though? Because actually, we have a decent amount of queens. I don't think I'd be too opposed to something like a Nidus. Oh!
Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing.
Oh my God, here we go. The Overseer is on the way into the main base. There is a pretty large patch here that Cure just does not have eyes on. What's important is if you look at the vision of Cure, Cure hasn't seen anything across the map. He doesn't know that there's a lair already done.
Yeah, it's definitely very worrisome. But if it's any consolation for Cure here, he has kept most of his units back at home. The Marine moving down now. Oh, he realizes. And there's a bit of that blind spot there.
Yeah, he's just covering his bases, make sure, hey, just in case it's a Nidus, I'm gonna make sure I'm prepared for it. So he does have vision in his main base. Meanwhile, the Overseer is diving in even deeper. Mass amount of Lings are waiting outside their natural base. Hellions move out!
That's unfortunate, but I think Cure has gotten a little bit of a glimpse of those Lings. Yep, he definitely has.
Ooh.
He's moving back down with those Hellions, trying to deal with them as quickly as possible. A couple of Mules still a little vulnerable. But they don't go down.
Oh, but the Lings.
Lot more Lings coming up.
Exactly.
He has given up on the Nidus.
We do have a bit of a surround on one of these Hellions, but the rest of the Hellions are going to be perfectly fine. At the same time, the Nidus in the main finishes up. Queens are coming out left and right. They can transfuse on this creep, and just like that, zero mining here in the main base.
Yeah, zero mining. A lot
We
of
need detection.
starting to go
We
down,
need
but
detection.
yeah, the Overseer is pretty far away.
Ah!
He's also very low on health here, so yeah, a couple of volleys from the Marines will be able to deal with that. A lot of SCVs being taken out. Cure just cannot get on top of this Overseer, man. He's not producing Vikings either.
Mate, it was so close. The Overseer is it's on the brink of death, mate. I thought maybe he was going to dive on top of it to take out all the detection. Honestly, this Overseer is keeping Rex alive right now because it is keeping these Banshees at bay. Meanwhile, Cure does just divert over to that natural base. He is still mining on one base, but the Queens are getting ever closer to that production.
And it is only one base,
Ooh.
in all fairness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about to be zero bases.
Stim is done.
Yeah, Sim has finished up, and with the stutter stepping, it's starting to deal with the Queens very, very effectively. Stopped hanging back and relying on that, on those Banshees. GG's call, and Cure takes a very, very, I don't want to use the word messy here, because it was pretty clean from both sides, but very chaotic, I guess is the better term to use. Game number 1.
GG. He wasn't able to deny the Niduses from getting up in his main base, but his macro was on point. His Hellion control was on point as well. Like the Lings, the 2 flood of Lings that went into his natural base got 2 Hellions each. Or 1 Hellion each, I should say.
Wow.
2 in total. Like, that's it. Like,
That,
yeah.
that ain't much
Mm.
for a bunch of Lings.
Yeah, like Cure's control was absolutely insane, and he does defend it beautifully here, taking the first game in this series.
Nicely done. I'll see if there are any adaptations for him to make here in game number 2. Yeah, and I just kind of realized this, as much as I am rooting for Cure a little bit here, this is his territory, the ESL Asia. Rex is pretty much the only other big name Zerg player other than Sue in this tournament. So, yeah, I'm hoping that at least one of them goes the distance here because, man, as always, we do not have many Zerg players signing up.
I didn't notice until you said it, mate. Feels bad, man. So my energy right now is going to Rex, is going to Sue, and hopefully they can, have some decent runs and we can have a little bit more diversity here. Yeah, we'll see. Exclamation mark Funada. Solar. I know Solar was up late last night. He was actually playing in Tasteless's tournament.
LAN party, yeah. Offline. Oh, actually, I don't know if he was there in person. Yeah, he was there, and that's entirely why he's sleeping it off. Regardless, we are going to be continuing our series now onto Hardwire LE, where, of course, in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have a red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He's, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. We have the mayor of Six City. He is Cure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. He is blue, representing Onside Gaming. Down in this series, but not out, not yet. It is Rex.
There's an on-site gaming. Is there an off-site gaming?
I hope so.
No, wait, it wouldn't be off-site gaming. It would be off-site esports.
I would assume that if Onside Gaming ever had an academy team, it would be Offside Gaming. There you go.
That's free for you to use, Crank.
I wonder if they do play like soccer together and stuff, because I know Ryung does quite a bit in his off time.
Yeah, there were a lot of a lot of the Korean pro gamers who got together in a team. Princess, one of our very own CranKy Ducklings, was able to witness such a match.
Oh,
once.
Nice. Yeah, I remember True used to play with them, Zest as well. I know all the KT boys like Flash and Action and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, soccer's pretty big in Korea. Or football.
Football. Or if you want to use the full name, Association Football.
There you go. Oh god, and we'll see what the plan is here, because I am curious. Fun fact, so far we do have 2 Raxes. Are we gonna end things on 2 Raxes? Because last night Solar wasn't the only one playing in Tasteless' tournament. Kior was as well, and he did this very same thing against Solar.
3 racks in TvZ. So I was asleep during the Tasteless LAN party. I have to admit. Did this work out for him?
So Dream was casting in English, and he said this build Suregi, trash build, and Cure lost horribly.
I was about to say, Cure doesn't exactly have a good track record with 3 racks builds.
Yeah. Like we see this kind of fall in its face time and time again in TVP, and how he's doing it against Zerg players. Obviously he does it because he finds some success with it. The idea of this is that he's going to push out across the map with Mass Marine. I'm pretty sure he hits without any medevacs, so this is like before the starports get up and running and stuff like that, so he hits pretty soon. But if Rex sees this coming, then he should have plenty of time to respond, get a good amount of lings out, and clean this up.
It's interesting that he's using this build on Hotwire as well, because as you said, all Rex needs to do is know that it's coming for him. And without medevacs, without medevacs, I suppose, it does take a little bit longer. Rex has even more time to prepare against this eventual push coming his way. Mainling Nest already on the way, that's inadvertent. Correctly timed Bailing Nest here at 4 minutes. Rex, what's important to note is that he hasn't gone in yet, so he doesn't know what's coming. He sees the Marines, but this could just be a 2-1-1. Right? Like, he knows the lack of Hellions, he is aware that a push is coming, but if he just assumes it's a 2-on-1, then he's gonna be droning up a little bit more, and he may not be ready for this. As I say that, 18 lings are on the way. He knows!
Oh boy, is it going to be enough? The Marines are revealed here as the vision provided by this Overlord sees everything. The move out is on the way. Again, this does hit without any kind of medevacs. This will hit with stim and combat shields, and we just need a sheer mass amount of Lingbane Queen, and Rex should be able to deal with this without this dealing any economic damage. I say should because, again, that's of course Kura's goal here.
Yeah, he doesn't need to kill Rex here. He just needs to, kill a bunch of drones. Without the medevac support, there's really no way for him to evacuate. These Marines are essentially on a suicide mission.
Yeah, I think Rex showed his hand a little bit too soon there, because Cure is already turning around. He's already running back home. And just like that, Cure clears creep, and he will not lose his Marines.
Right call to make, IMO. Losing the Marines and a counterattack is just going to kill him immediately. But that just begs the question, why go for this instead of a 2-on-1 then?
Look, Dream said the same thing. He was like, why not 2-on-1? Yeah, 2-on-1's good. Why 3 racks? Question mark. What's important though is, again, this is pretty crucial. The fact that he was able to keep all these Marines alive, which means now the follow-up push is going to be that much stronger. Medevacs are now out. Tanks are now out. And Cure is going to be going for round 2.
Tank. Singular.
True.
But I guess to be fair for Cure here, Rex also does have Baneling speed yet. He does have too many Banelings either, so yeah, I guess he doesn't need too many tanks, but we'll see how long that period, that window of opportunity lasts.
Yeah, again, Rex, he wants Cure to go deep into creep. He's diving on top of the tank just now in sieges. Oh, the Lings run past it. Uh-oh.
That is not good at all for Rex here. The Lings are starting to go down, but The Banelings make connections regardless. Not the best target firing here from the side of Cure.
Just like that.
That's all I really have to say.
Yeah, Rex, he cleans it up. You know what? The casters last night were also a little bit dumbfounded as well.
Yeah, that's the exact word I was going to use.
Yeah.
I'm pretty dumbfounded here. I still can't really follow Cure's thought pattern.
Yeah, I mean, again, at least he keeps his medevacs alive. The medevac count is getting a little bit higher. He finally cleans up the Overlord as well. Rex does have eyes on the third base, by the way, confirming that there is still no third, confirming that, hey, I still shouldn't be droning up too much. I need to focus on army.
Yeah, keeping the medevacs alive is pretty underrated, I find. You know, sure, they don't do any damage, and yes, they are a lower priority than the Marines and the tanks, but if the medevacs are alive, it gives you a lot of mobility on the map. It gives you an opportunity to get some control.
Yeah, exactly. And just like that, we have multi-prong attack. You know, creep is being cleared up left and right. We have another drop here trying to deny this fourth base. Rex, for the most part, he is keeping it up, though. Like, he is successfully defending and just thwarting all these pushes.
Yeah, nice little bit of target firing here, but no real damage being dealt to Rex so far. Cure still trying to build up at home, still trying to get his +1 armor. He already has, yep, he already has +1 weapons. Just hoping to hit with a follow-up and deal damage then.
Yeah, and he has kept every single medevac alive so far. So again, so far, it could have been a lot worse here for Cure. Meanwhile, a bit of a Ling run by, not the best move. All the Lings do get cleaned up, so Rex is throwing away a little bit of supply, but he isn't done, or he hasn't stopped teching. Hydras are coming out. 1-1 is on the way. A little bit too early for, lurkers. Lurkers are going to be on the way as soon as this infestation pit is done, and Hive is on the way, so Rex, he does want to go into Ling Bane, Hydra Lurker.
Yeah, that times out very, very well here. For Rex, I mean. Cure, meanwhile, again, since he didn't lose the medevacs, is able to produce a couple of Liberators. He has an inkling of where this is going to go with all the Massling Bane.
Yeah, the Liberators are kind of a key unit, honestly, against things like Lurkers. Lib Tank is kind of what you want to go for. Meanwhile, these Marines are still finding more creep to clear up, and again, this isn't really doing too much damage right now, but if the creep doesn't get re-spread, then this will set Cure up later on for a big push.
Yeah, that's really what he's banking on right now. Because he hasn't been able to get economic damage yet. It's going to be even harder to do with all these Hydralisks out. You know, now Rex actually has a more reliable form of anti-air.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna take some tanks to clear him out.
Yeah, like the Queens, they were doing their best to try and intercept, but they're just so slow, especially off of creep. Meanwhile, Hive is almost done. We are missing that Lurker Den, so I'm a little bit concerned. It looks like, for the time being, the plan is just Ling Bane Hydra from Rex.
Yeah. This could be an oversight, or it could also be Rex thinking, alright, I just cannot spare the gas at the moment to get a Lurker Den. I really need to prioritize Hydras for now.
Yeah, and I mean, there it is. We have an Ultra Cavern being thrown down. Oh my god.
Interesting choice here after the Hydras have already been made, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, sure, the Ultras aren't going to do too well against the Liberators, but Lip Tank is not quite enough to deal with Ultralists, right? You need Marauders or Ghosts to support the Liberators in that scenario.
Yeah, and to be fair, Cure's he's taking up in that direction. We do have the Ghost Academy on the way here for Cure. As, I mean, you need Ghosts for anything late game, right? Whether it's Ultras, Broodlords, or Lurkers. So he's working towards it. But this is a very interesting choice by Rex, especially because ideally you don't go Hydras first, because it's just more clutter on the ground, and it's just more getting in the way of the Ultras, right? The Ultras want to get on top of the army, and you don't want too many, again, like units on the ground getting in their way. So they don't synergize too well, but thankfully there aren't too many Hydras. It looks like Rex only made enough to help deal with drops.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's looking like to me here. Like, of course, the most efficient way to tech up into Ultras is to just straight up go Ling Bane into Ultras, but Rex here, he wants a little bit of an anti-air foundation, right? It doesn't trust the Ling Bane to be able to jump between all of these spaces quickly enough. So yeah, might as well have something that can pressure the medevacs as well.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're wondering like how we ended up in this scenario, where basically we're in a split map scenario, Cure versus Rex, where Cure is typically the higher rated player and like he shouldn't be struggling this much, but because of the opener, because Cure threw away his first tank and all those Marines, he just didn't have any momentum to hit like a 1-1 or a 2-2 timing. Like he just couldn't, because the opener fell on its face. So because of that, it took him that much longer to get his third up and running, that much longer to get his fourth up. So he's been forced to kind of turtle here. I mean, to be fair, he is turtling quite well and he is maxed out. So when he does push out, like look at the sheer amount of tanks and libs he has. Like it's gonna hit hard.
Yeah, and very nicely spread out too. It's Vipers, I really don't see them being able to have enough energy to yoink all of them or blinding cloud all of them.
Yeah, like, and Ultras cannot push into this. This is the problem with Ultras, right? Ultras are great if the Terran is pushing onto creep, but if the Terran is defending at home, Ultras have a really hard time pushing into tank lines, pushing into planetary...
Oh, the Vipers!
No, the Vipers! No, por favor,
hot pickup! Potentially, no, not quite, but yeah, with the low health of the Vipers, Rex really does not want to take any risks. He throws away just about half of his army here, which may be fine. I mean, you know, he needs to clear up some supply to get more units, but it's only making 2 Ultras, and I mean, he's mostly remaking his Hydra and Ling Town.
Yeah, I'm surprised in the remake of the Hydras. Like, they have their place, but mate, we have a greater Spire on the way. Corruptors are what you want to eventually get into Broodlords, I imagine. So maybe a little bit of like a panic move here by Rex to quickly remake his army. Not really making the most efficient use out of his larva here.
Yeah, definitely not. But at the same, on the flip side, he is getting about every base he can at the moment. So yeah, maybe he's got a very big bank. So yeah, maybe the idea is to just throw army at Cure until he breaks.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I think the name of the game here for Rex is once again he tries to push in into tanks, into libs, doesn't really break through. Yeah. But it may just be to deny these bases here on the left and the right. If Cure ever tries to expand and take a new base, I'm sure Rex is going to be there to try and stop him.
Yeah, it is a very nice and mobile army. Cool little split there from Cure, making sure that only 1 Marine was being attacked by the Ultra.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very nice
but
little
eventually
micro.
Is forced away.
Yeah, and now all the upgrades are finishing up. You know, we have 3-3 finishing up here for Rex. We have our air attack as well. Unfortunately, still don't have anything in the sky to take advantage of these upgrades yet. But it looks like, of course, Rex is setting himself up to eventually get into Broodlords. Has to be careful though, because again, you don't want to throw away too much supply too soon. Otherwise, you will provoke a big counterattack.
I like the way that Rex is clearing up his supply here. He's not, you know, throwing Lings and Banes across the map and hopefully get something done with them. He is just making mass spines and mass spores.
Yeah, of course. The Spore Forest and the Spine Forest are on the way here. You see a little bit of a skirmish. 1 tank did get yoinked. Vipers barely kept at bay, and it looks like, ooh, can Rex take down this planetary?
Oh, if all the Banelings connect at once! Not quite. Not okay to do.
Mate, it's jumping! Oh.
That's a pretty fantastic nuke. Not, you know, not the most drones in the world for a nuke, but I mean, he takes out a good bit of larva, and yeah, I guess larva is pretty important. I would argue the most important resource for Rex right now.
Yeah, mate, he almost denied +3, which is crazy to think about. He almost killed that Evo chamber. So a very decent nuke there, but he did end up losing an entire base. And once again, Rex is looking to hit that top left-hand side. Oh, he backs off. When he showed up, he actually didn't quite see that planetary. So he's going to give Cure an opportunity to saturate it.
That ghost is still there?
It's just chilling.
It's like... Yeah, it's like mission accomplished. Should I go home? Nah.
Oh god. Meanwhile, upgrades are still on the way. More nukes on the way here for Cure as well. So Rex, he has to double down, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's throwing down spores and spines in every single base to make sure he has detection to see said ghosts.
Oh, on the base that was nuked.
Could see it again.
Yeah, still has about half mining.
Okay, this time the ghost does get denied. Meanwhile, Curie's setting himself up very well to defend this top left-hand base. A lot of tanks, a lot of ghosts, a lot of liberators. I do worry because there's not a lot to help like protect these ghosts. I don't know, it feels like a little bit of a naked army, but we'll see if Rex can really pull something off here.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of tanks and there are a couple of liberators as well to try to deter Rex from moving into him. The snipes do go off just like that. Every single Ultralist gets taken out. I don't know if this was a move, Light. I just saw Rex throw away about 60 army supply worth of units, and now is at about 3/4 or 2/3 the army supply of Cure.
Yeah, I kind of like this, because he did trade a lot of tanks, and we're going into Broodlords. Corruptors are on the way. Rex is purposefully not maxed out because he needs to save some supply for Broodlords to morph them in. Infestors coming out, Vipers are coming out. This is going to be a very strong and potent army, but it's also very difficult to control. Broodlords are very slow. Infestors and Vipers, if you miscontrol them, they will just very easily fall. So Rex, right, how good is your late game control?
Yeah, especially with all these ghosts out. That base is about to get nuked. Again, not the most valuable mining base, but still plenty of larvae there. So
it is. Yeah. You know, Nitro's go down. The ghost is still alive, by the way, still kind of just chilling here, waiting for another nuke. Meanwhile, Cure, he also needs to refine his army. He has recognized, I have too many tanks. Tanks don't shoot up. I need to get rid of them. I need to get rid of them if I want to fight these Broodlords.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to get rid of them yet.
Yeah, mate, the entire army actually rotates over here. Broodlords were not in position, but they do just now get scanned.
What if they pass by the nuke? They're not gonna. That was very brave by that one ghost without any energy to cloak to try to get that nuke off, but yeah, unfortunately it was not meant to be.
And I'm a little bit concerned because, mate, we got a lot of Broodlords. That's 17 Broodlords. And what shoots up? We have 12 ghosts, mate. We don't have any, like, Cure needs to fill up supply for these Thors. He's only making a single Thor. That's all he has to work with.
Yeah, I guess that's the idea behind losing these tanks. He's even able to deny one of the bases, so nicely done here for Cure.
Yeah, here we go. More Thors are now on the way. Rex, you're on a timer. You gotta go now. I do think that he overmade Broodlords here a little bit.
I'm with you there, 100%.
I just realized he doesn't have any Infestors. I guess one of them got a little bit careless and died earlier. So Broodlords on their own are not that great. We need something to help support them.
Yeah, the great thing about Broodlords is they do have that very long range, but you know, because they're slow and because you can sort of see them coming, the Terran player with their, especially the Bio-Terran player, will definitely be able to avoid them. Infestors really take out the one advantage that, or really neutralize the one advantage that Terran players would have in that scenario, but yeah, without them, Rex is at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah, like, Infestors are so important because, honestly, the best answer to Thors is Neuroparasite, to take over said Thors and turn them on the Terran opponent. Likewise, if you don't have detection, Fungals are great for revealing and dealing with ghosts and shutting them down because they can't nuke. Well, they can't snipe, meanwhile.
Okay, it shouldn't. No, the detection's not here! The detection's not here! Okay, the army passes, the army passes, the army passes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Rex, please. Giving us a heart attack. And Rex doesn't turn around. Like, he can't. His army is just not mobile enough. And that's what I was talking about before. Like, he has to pull the trigger. Finally, he's laying siege with these Broodlords. He's going to lose 2 hatcheries for a planetary.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's a Warfile trade. He may even lose a little bit of army unnecessarily here. Oh, the army!
Ah, there's no detection. Rex, please. He does evacuate. Liberators come in as well. Again, that's the other problem. Rex turned every single one of his corruptors into these Broodlords. Like, again, there's just too many, mate.
I almost wish the Liberators didn't rock in. Nuke would have been able to land, yeah, Cure is definitely just making sure he can secure his ground here. He knows that the Broodlords eventually are going to turn around. Yeah. Corruptors are now being made, 7 of them at a time, but considering the ghost count right now for Cure, I feel like those Corruptors are going to have a pretty tough time dealing with the Liberators.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, like, I just don't really have much faith in the army of Rex right now. It's just not really what he needs. He does have a couple of Vipers, and maybe that will make the difference here, but we just have constant nukes zoning out the army of Rex. Rex turns around, he just lost 3 hatcheries, and he didn't do anything for it. He killed 1 base, and that's it.
I just realized Cure almost has 10k minerals and 4k gas.
Yeah.
That's how much he's been able to mine throughout this entire game, right? I guess we're normally used to the Zerg player eclipsing the Terran player in terms of the income, but Cure just made sure that didn't happen this game. He secured his bases pretty early on.
Yeah, not gonna lie. That's all he needed to do. He hasn't taken a fresh base in a while, but he's just been trading so efficiently. This Liberator getting 9 drone kills. Another base just fell, by the way. So 4 bases of Rex, 5 bases even of Rex just died. And even though Rex did just catch like 6 tanks, it's okay because Cure just turned all of those tanks into Thors.
Yeah, not literally. But, yeah, Thors are definitely a lot more valuable right now for Cure, as you were saying. Rex is basically fully transitioned to a Sky Zerg army. But we have a lot of Infestors now, so there's a little bit of there's more opportunity for Rex here.
Yeah, we do have 5 Infestors now. The problem is that, again, Rex has just been trading so inefficiently. He doesn't have a bank anymore. He just lost his fresh mining bases here towards the bottom right. Like, I think it's a little bit too late. Like, things have just gone far too badly. He's making 8 more Broodlords?
I don't know about that, mate.
He already has 17! How is he going to deal with all the libs?
25 Broodlords and 0 anti-air. That's
like Queens are decent anti-air, sure, but they don't have range, not anymore. They have to go into the freedom zones to deal with the Liberators. Like,
if these overseers get nuked, if these overseers get nuked, if these overseers get nuked,
no, Rex, not like this.
Not all of them get nuked, just one of them.
Jesus Christ. Not like this, Rex, not like this.
Alright, I think this may just about be Rex's Alamo. It's down to 500 minerals. He has barely 1,000. It's barely even 500 minerals mining at a time.
Yeah, Rex, he is desperately trying to double expand and get some economy going, but he just cannot do it. He just can't do it whatsoever. Even though Cure's income isn't that amazing, like he's just been trading so damn well. He has such a massive bank. Banelings roll in, they die instantly. Oh.
Yeah, Rex really trying to get some Neuros out with those Infestors, but every single time they walk into a freedom zone, it's get taken out. They get liberated from this world.
Yeah, there's a reason why Corruptors are they have their place here in this this matchup. To help deal with the Liberators so that the Infestors can kind of get that much closer. And
I gotta be honest, like with the sheer amount of Liberators that Cure has right now, I have a feeling he will win. He can just win the air battle with them.
100%. I
doesn't even need Vikings.
I was gonna say this earlier. I feel like he could probably just unsiege all his libs and just A move and just win. Oh my god.
Well, I guess you do still have to be a little bit wary of the fungal Parabob combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like,
I mean, just one EMP though, right? Just one good EMP is all he needs.
One good EMP. Like, the Ghost is king here in this matchup. How many Ghosts have died this game? 4. But it's been 26 minutes and 4 Ghosts have died. Shaking my head.
Well, you can't kill a Ghost.
You can't kill a Ghost. It's already dead.
Well, I meant that more as a balance point perspective,
True. Fun fact, last night, Dream did say that, Terran late game is superior because of the Ghost. And, Mate, look at him just bully Rex all the way back, mate. Rex, despite being maxed out for so long, he just can't do anything right now. Just can't do it.
Not at all. So much creep being cleared up here. I like to point out to everyone here, this is a uncharacteristically long game coming out from Cure. It started because Cure put himself in this position.
Sure.
He completely gave up the early game and said, all right, Rex, you could have this.
Yeah, you could also argue, and I think I would say that Rex had a really good early game, and he probably could have been able to end this sooner before we ended up in this scenario. Like, I honestly, he was looking pretty good when he kept denying the top left-hand base, right? I thought he would keep doing that, and then he was kind of pulled apart, and then he went himself into the Broodlords, and he just didn't stop making Broodlords. Like,
it's all that topic.
Yeah, Rex put himself in this position, mate. He has no one to blame but himself, mate.
I was so sure we were gonna get an ace match. Now I'm not so much.
Yeah, like that's the thing. He was so close, mate. He was so close to taking this game earlier. We could have had an ace match. We could have had a game 3. But alas, Cure's late game is just superior here. The nukes just keep on landing. Rex, he's stuck here in the middle of the map, not really quite sure what to do. Because again, if he ever overextends off of creep, then he is vulnerable to snipes. He's vulnerable to the Terran army.
Yeah, Cure definitely has a better late game here. More importantly, his sheer desire of wanting to prove that this build can work, the dream, is fueling every fiber of his being.
You won in spite of your opener, not because of your opener, okay? The copium is real.
He's gonna show this replay the dream and be like, look at that!
Look, it works.
Who has this dragging build now?
Oh my god, I don't see you signing up for ESL Asia every week. The MPs, oh my god.
They do connect, only a couple of fungals are able to land. A very nice blinding cloud, in all fairness, but even that runs out.
Yeah, it does. Oh, another, honestly, a pretty amazing blinding cloud here on top of so many of these Thors. The Broodlords will take out all the Thors, and you know what? The Corruptors are actually pushing through as well. He's doing it!
Yeah, without the Thors being able to really utilize their range, these Corruptors can really reign free on top of all these Liberators.
Oh my god.
And the Ghosts, you know, they're not able to get their snipes off.
Yeah, and I've said this before, Rex, go, 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 go! Because you look at the bank, Rex, he cannot produce anymore. He is done. This is the army that he has to work with. Cure, if you give him time, he will remax and he can go again.
It's so important right now for Rex not to do that. He's gonna park his Broodlords right on top of the main base, and that he's gonna. Yep, there we go.
Get on top of the production.
That's the move.
Go for it, and he will. Meanwhile, would you have a nuke on top of the army as well? Uh-oh. He's gonna be careful. Okay, he will be able to move away. He will. Uh-oh. No.
Wait,
No, Rex!
No! Not enough to kill the army, but enough to definitely soften a lot of them up. The Liberators coming down on top of these Broodlords. Ay, 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 papi.
Oh my god. Mate, these sheer amount of Corruptors here are enough to deal with all these Liberators. The Ghosts having a hard time. They're going to try and get their snipes off, and it looks like they will. Every single Broodlord is going to get picked off. This was the lifeline that Rex had, and now it's gone.
Yeah, to be fair, Rex had to do a lot here. It was a pretty lopsided engagement towards the end, but yeah, that was also very nicely done by Cure. Be able to, gather his forces, not int them into the army, and yeah, and that nuke actually did help out. Unironically, that nuke helped out a lot. This nuke might not. This nuke might. He cancels it. He cancels it. Okay.
Thank God. Cure, he's fine. Again, if you're wondering, Rex, he did overextend, but he had to just because he doesn't have any more longevity in this game. He had no bank. He has no income. So he just had to do whatever he could. And hey, you know what? He took a really good fight. Blinding Clouds really carried him there. Like his Vipers were king. They were the MVPs. So shout out to Rex for taking a really good fight, but again, too little too late.
Yeah, I had to do this about 15 or so minutes ago. More nukes! I'm all for this, personally.
The nukes just don't stop. Yo, Rex, he did just caustic spray down a planetary, but one Liberator is all it takes for Rex to just have denied mining here at the right-hand side base. Cure, he's done it before, he'll do it again. He's looking to take down these 3 fresh mining bases of Rex.
one by one. I'm pretty impressed with the force that Rex was able to muster here, based on how little income he had. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just not a very good. It's just not a very good army.
Yeah, it's Ling Bane Corruptor, 1 Ultra. Ling Bane Corruptor now. The Ultra does get sniped. The pre-spread is insane. Here we go to the last hurrah. Rex, he's going with everything he has to try and hold on.
Remember the Rexamo! Oh, GG is called, and Cure takes that series 2-0. Almost didn't, though. And just like that, I believe we're getting into our semifinals now, or something like that.
Yeah, that was a long game.
That was a pretty long game. Yeah, we're getting into our semifinals. Rex, unfortunately for Rex fans and Zerg fans in general as well, has been taken out. But surprisingly, he is not. Surprisingly, we still have Zerg players in the tournament.
Let's go. Yes, he did it before. He'll do it again. Su does 2-0 Bjorn, so Su is kind of working his way through that bracket, making his way to the semifinals. But it looks like their games were very long. Some long macro games, longer than ours even. So they're gonna take some time. Meanwhile, we have our first semifinals ready and waiting.
We do indeed, and it is going to be a TVP on our hands here. Just about a pretty classic matchup. I see what I did there unintentionally. I see what I did there. But yeah, Cure versus Rex is going to be our first semifinals here.
Classic.
Oh, man. Did I say Rex? Yeah, I meant classic. I think I said Rex. Did I say Su versus Rex? No, I think I said Cure. Cure versus Classic is going to be our first semifinals here. Look. My eyes were on the other side of the bracket. I was looking at Hero versus Coffee. I'm very much hoping that somebody's covering that. Because, man, we haven't really been able to cover Coffee in ESL Asia, but he has been signing up for it very consistently.
Yeah, we've been missing out on weeks. We've been missing out a lot on Coffee. Bit of a feels bad man there. Hopefully we're able to catch him at some point, but he's up against a Titan. He's up against arguably the best Protoss player in the world right now. Hero is also there in that portion.
I'm not sure if there's an argument to be made if you want to go off of Ligulac.
Yeah.
Something. Hey. I would definitely say Hero is not. I would say Creator is the best Protoss player in the world right now. But yeah, the stats do point towards Heroes. The stats do point towards Heroes' direction.
They're both very good. They're both very good. They're both peaking at the moment, if you will, and it's all about who stops and who will keep on going.